Today I had some ground beef to cook, and Chris said, why don't you make some chili for two? And I said, you know what, I think I'm going to do that. And I'm going to use half that pound of ground beef for chili and half that pound of ground beef for some vegetable soup. And I'll just show them how to make a short-cut, easy pot of each type of soup. And it's going to be a great video, y'all. So let's get started. All right, we got a pound of ground beef. I actually got this at Walmart because I bought it quite a while ago. And you will not believe this, but they got an abundance of beef in and had this marked $1 a pound, and it's chuck. It's not even hardly got any fat in it. Not even hardly got enough fat for me to brown it in it. And so we're going to use it. We're going to use half of it in our chili, and we're going to use half of it in our soup. Because when I make vegetable soup, I put beef in it. Mama always did. Ground beef. So if you want to and you don't want to use beef in either one of these things that we're making today, you can always use chicken if you desire to, or ground turkey or something like that. I mean, you can use cubes of chicken. So we're just browning this good, and we got our eye on high. And as soon as we get it browned, we're going to put half of it in this pot and half of it in this one. We're going to make vegetable soup for two and chili for two. Me and Chris are in the mood for some warm comfort food. We're by ourselves. There's no reason for me to make a huge batch of something. So we're making two things today that we can eat throughout the week. This is going to be quick and easy. I have some frozen peppers that I minced and threw in the freezer. So I am going to start with these and some onion in the bottom. I think oh, this has got onion in it too. That's even better. So it's just one that I prepared that I just can make something quick with. I think I'm going to saute these a little bit, and we'll put our vegetable soup together while these are sauteing. So I'm going to put these right here on the oven and turn those on. All right, so let's put our vegetable soup together. Now I'm doing this to make it easy, okay? Because I know a lot of y'all by yourself, or there's just two of you, and you're not in the mood to cook, and you wind up eating junk. So today I'm just showing you how to throw together something that's not a lot of it, but just enough to feed a couple of you, maybe 2 times. But not a whole entire, big thing like you're used to cooking for a family. This is V8 juice I'm using. I usually keep it in the refrigerator. It lasts forever. All right, so for our vegetable soup, it's going to be a conglomeration of stuff I've already got in the freezer. You can buy a bag of mixed vegetables, or you can do like me and just throw some together in the pot, however you want to do it. But first we're going to put in our liquid. We're going to put in 1 can of diced tomatoes, which is my favorite thing that goes in it. Okay? And then I'm going to fill this up with water, and we're going to put 1 can of water in it. I didn't quite get it all the way to the top, but that's all right. All right, now we're going to put in our cup of V8. And you can use low sodium if you're on a low sodium diet. We're going to use some Mrs. Dash. I like it a lot in soup. This is just the original Mrs. Dash, so it's not salty. We'll put in about a teaspoon. Smells so good. All right, I'm not going to put in pepper into my soup, but we're going to put in some shoe peg corn. And let me just get a scooper, and we'll try to put about the same amount of every vegetable in here. So I'll do a 1/3 cup of corn, and I may add some before it's over, but we're going to try to get a little bit of everything in here. Just see how it looks. These are peas that we had in the garden. going to put a 1/3 cup of those. And like I said, just use a bag of mixed vegetables. Don't stress over it. Or if you've got stuff like I do, that you can just grab it and add it to the soup, you can do that. I got some okra from the garden. It's still hard. I got to beat it on the counter and get it broke up some. And now I'm not going to put a lot of okra because it does get a little slimy. But I love it. I love the flavor it gives soup. So that's what we're going to put in there. And this is some butter peas and some speckled butter beans that I've just mixed up in a bag where I've had them left over making stuff. So I'll put a 1/3 cup of these in there. Now we're going to slice up some fresh carrot because we had some in the fridge. And all I did is peeled it real quick with a peeler. And I'm just going to chop it up and put it in there. Now, if you don't have any fresh, that's fine. You don't have to even have the carrot. I just thought it would make it pretty. And of course, I do like carrots. That one's pretty thick. Let's get it too. Okay. And then I've got some fresh onion. So I am going to try to chop it up real quick. And it don't have to be so little. I'm going to flip it over this way. We're going to put our carrot in there. And our onion in there. And then I'm going to cut up a fresh potato and put in there. And that's going to be our soup. Simple dimple. When we get our beef in there. I think I may just use one potato. Oh, let's stir up our peppers and onions for our chili. Those look perfect. We're going to turn those off for now. And we're going to hop over here and peel a potato to go in our soup. I'll make a little pound of cornbread to go with our soup. You can look up cornbread for 2 on our site. All I do is make a half recipe of cornbread and put it in a small skillet. No big deal, right? Or have some crackers or whatever you want. You can even throw a little rice in there if you don't want to fool with something else. My granny used to put noodles in her vegetable soup. My mama did. My granny didn't, but my mama did. All right, we're going to bring this over here to the stove. I'm going to turn it on. And I'm going to add half this beef that we browned to it. And there's a good, healthy, easy soup to enjoy during this weather. Now, all we got to do is simmer it for a couple of hours, and those potatoes will be done, and all that'll be good. Right now, that all of it's cold, and you can see the fat coming off at the top, white looking from that meat. But that'll soak down in there and heat up. And boy, it'll be good. And my sister and Mama sometimes did add a little bit of butter to their soup. So you can if you want to. But me and Chris are going to try to do better, and I'm not putting any butter in there. It is January, so let's try to do a little better. All right, so here's our chili. This one's going to be simple too. Now, we've already got onion in here and pepper, but mostly pepper, you can see. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more onion, and I know I didn't saute it, but I'm going to add half of this piece to it, just because I can, and I think it'll be good. And I'm just chopping it up kind of big, not, it don't have to be real little or nothing. I'm not going to put that center part in there. Okay. Now, this chili is going to be a little different, and y'all don't have to use Rotel if you don't want to, but I didn't want to make a whole bunch of chili. So I've only got 1 can of Rotel, and this has got mild chilies in it. If you do not want mild chilies in your chili, just use a small can of diced tomatoes, petite, okay? So we're going to put these in there. 1 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. Yeah. 1 8-ounce can of tomato sauce goes in. 1 can of kidney beans. You can use dark, light. You can use pinto beans. Use whatever you got in the pantry, okay? Put it in there, juice and all. And now we're going to walk over here and fill this up full of water and put it in there. In this, we're going to add a little bit of dried basil. And, of course, chili powder. And you're going to want at least a good tablespoon in there. And we got this corn sitting here that makes me want to add it. Can we add a little corn to it, Chris?
I don't want no corn in my chili.
You don't?
Nope.
But I think this is perfect for me and Chris. This is all we need. So now we're going to put in our beef that we browned. And we're going to stir it up. Actually, when you add the beef, it's going to be perfect. Once it cooks a little bit, you don't really need anything else in there. And I don't think I put in too much water now. So we're going to turn this on and we're going to simmer it. We're going to simmer both of these for a couple of hours on the stove top. We're going to bring them to a boil first. Then we're going to put a lid on them and simmer them for a couple of hours. So when your chili starts to get a good boil on it, you're just going to let it do this for about 20 minutes. And you're going to do the same thing with the vegetable soup. And then we'll cover them and simmer them. And boy, will it be good. All right, we're going to give these a taste for you guys. Me and Chris have got a trip to Jacksonville. We're going to go. So we thought we'd go ahead and dip up some of this. It has been cooking for a couple of hours. This is the chili. I'm going to put it in this little bowl. And we've already had lunch. We ate our leftover cabbage that we cooked this week. If you haven't got to see that, take a look at that. We can eat this for supper tonight, which is nice to have. And look, we got 2 things we can keep in the refrigerator and eat during the week this week that is healthy, not real fatty, and delicious. All right. So we've got the chili and we've got the soup. And on the soup side, it just looks good, don't it? Both tomato-based, kind of. And I don't know if I put enough chili powder in here or salt, but I'm about to see. That needs salt. I don't think I put any salt in the soup. Both of them need salt. So can you hand me the salt, my dear? Just hand me my salt box. So we forgot the salt, y'all. You know, they both have a good flavor, but boy, do you need salt and pepper, especially a little pepper. I usually put a little salt and pepper in my chili. I just didn't have it out, so I'm gonna put just a little bit of salt in each of them and stir it up. So
you
remember,
fix that on the recipe. The
Yeah.
written recipe part.
Yeah, so remember on the recipe, I'll put the salt and pepper in the recipe, but I just wasn't thinking today when we threw this together quick. But you can make you a little bowl, get you some little oyster crackers like I'm doing.
You want some pepper for it? Did you put pepper in it?
I didn't put pepper in it either. All I put in it was that in the vegetable soup.
Yeah.
But I usually put a little pepper in both of them. But I'll make sure to put that in a recipe for y'all.
Okay.
I just want y'all to see how pretty it looks on my spoon. Look, you've got all those vegetables in there, an onion, tomato. Looks good. I see my okra, which I love, out of the garden, my peas out of the garden. So nice to be able to eat that stuff in the wintertime, isn't it? The stuff you put in your freezer. And even if you don't have stuff, if you can't have your own garden and stuff, you can always buy some frozen peas and stuff and put in the freezer and use them from time to time. Delicious. Really good. It's really, really good. So we're going to have a good supper tonight when we get home from Jacksonville. Chris is going over to Jacksonville to get him an elliptical. He hasn't had one since we moved and he's missing it. Now we're going to taste the chili. You can put cheese in your chili. You can put sour cream in your chili. You can eat it with some Fritos. But if you want to be healthy, just have it like this. Don't fill it full of those fun, fatty items. The last time I bought chili powder, I got the organic, expensive kind, and boy, does it taste good. It really tastes good.
It's McCormick, right?
Yeah, McCormick Organic. It came in my organic set. Boy, is it good. I hope y'all have a blessed and wonderful evening. And we thank you for watching Collard Valley Cooks. And you know it's where we cook like our mamas did. I've given you 2 shortcut, easy recipes for 2 warm, good foods for your body in this winter weather. I hope you've enjoyed it. Y'all come back and see us, me and Chris, here on Collard Valley Cooks. Bye, y'all. Love ya.